Welcome to another adventure. Today is a proper paragliding one. But before we begin, if this is the first video you're watching on this channel, make sure to check out the rest of the content because it's very various and that confuses the algorithm. You will find an outdoor camping, brewing insane quantities of mead, and beekeeping. So make sure to subscribe to follow along the new adventures. I wanted to take you flying with me for quite some time now. The biggest issue I had is how to record it so it looks good. Some people strap camera to a shoe. Majority of pilots use 360 cameras, which I do not have. So I decided to follow the third path, which is making a chase cam. The chase cam is basically a small conical parachute that is attached to the string to the top of the canopy, and as you fly it follows you along, recording from behind. Unfortunately, this is also the most dangerous way of doing it. First of all, it can fall apart and create a drogue chute, which will, well, slow me down. It can tangle on a takeoff into the main lines, and that would be really bad. It can detach in a flight and then I lose the camera. Or, which is the worst of all, if I'm flying low over the trees, it can tangle into the branches, collapse the canopy, and make me fall out of the sky. Which is survivable, but definitely not pleasant, and not something I want to experience. And since there are only 3 designs that I found on the internet, I decided to make my own. So, being an aerospace engineer, I thought, how hard can it be? Okay, it is slightly squished, but it's not bad. Let's see if they fit together. Okay. So if you're wondering why I 3D printed them in this direction horizontally instead of vertically, which would give me much better circle definition. So if imagine that this part is attached to the glider, then I do want majority of the load being taken by the horizontal lines of this print, which create basically a closed loop here, rather than if I did like this, and then I rely on the adhesion between the layers, rather than relying on the strength of the entire loop here. But it looks pretty decent. So, we have our base with the GoPro attachment here. We have the insert, which goes from this side, like this, the carbon fiber rods, and the material itself. I think I'm going to start with threading the carbon fiber rods through these little openings here. Turns out I forgot how to count to 8, so I cut only 6 pieces of the carbon fiber rod, but luckily I had an extra spur rod, so I managed to count 2 extra pieces. this is a little bit more difficult than I thought. Yeah, this doesn't work. Okay, let's try something else then. I definitely over-engineered this. So, let's try this. So now the cloth is blocked, and now I need a screw to secure it in place. Alright. No, nie wcinamy. And the most tricky last hole. Okay. So now in theory, I should be able to stretch fabric over itself and secure it in place using these. Okay, this actually kind of works. You know what, it didn't look good at the beginning, and I really started doubting whether I designed it even well, but it seems to be working. Alright, still need to fix these with a little bit of glue just to keep it in place. Otherwise, it's not all bad, I would say. Cool. All right, good morning. It's time to continue the assembly. Okay, so I assembled all of these ones. This is assembled. So I think one more thing I need to do here is now to glue in the tips, which will stretch the fabric. And since I'll be gluing things, I will also glue the magnets inside the connector. So this is the side that I'll be clipping into the canopy, into the brake lines at the back. And this is the part where I'll get the magnet in. And here will be the second one, and to this part I will attach the line which will then connect to the cam chaser. Okay, this looks pretty decent, and now it should hold together pretty nicely. That's good. There we go. I'll leave it now for a few minutes to cure. Looks like it's going to be a very nice day for flying today. All right, while this is curing, actually, I will need to cut some paracord into the proper lengths, fix the nut on the other side. Also, I need to do all the wiring. That's 2, Brilliant. This actually is horizontal. Okay, now we're hyped to go flying. There's one more thing I need to do to create a name tag. So this strip will contain my contact details, so in case I do snatch a tree or the camera drops off and fly for whatever reason, somebody finds it before me, then they know to return the gear. As the final touch, I added here a little bit of the elastic cord in the middle. So when the canopy will rip the camera off the ground, then there is no shock load, and it's going to be more gradual thanks to this, because this can nicely stretch. The camera can self-center, so even if it takes off on some strange angle, it can go back to the middle and hopefully record like this. Let's go flying! I arrived at the landing spot just to check it out. Unfortunately, the air is pretty stable. There's absolutely no wind, so there is a nice layer of fog at the bottom. It's not very thick. I can see the mountain from time to time, but yeah, the visibility is very, very variable. Let me show you how it looks like, and then I need to see whether I'm deciding to fly today or wait a little bit when there is not that much fog. So on the paragliding app, it actually looks like someone is in the air right now. Let's see how they land, and then I'll make a decision whether I go flying. It is a little bit sketchy, I'm not gonna lie. He decided not to land here, which is also an indicator that the conditions are not that good. The fog just rolled in again. It's getting a bit more dense. Really not sure what I should do, because I'm already trying a new equipment today, which increases the risk, because if something goes wrong, I will have to address it while being in the air, and having no certainty about where I can land is a second risk. And yeah, every single catastrophe which happened is not just a one big thing. It's a combination of small little things which, if you ignore it, then they add up, and that's what causes the accidents in the end. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, see whether the conditions improve here, and if they don't improve, then I'm gonna postpone it to another day. Alright, so conditions are not improving. So what I'm gonna do is leave the paraglider in a car, go up the mountain and see how it looks from above, and see whether there's any other alternative landing spots that the other pilots are using. How do they look? Do I feel comfortable landing there? And yeah, then I'll assess again the situation. Alright, I've made it to the top, and that's the problem. Honestly, I don't see a lot of landing spots there. So I'm gonna go to the takeoff spot, see what's the situation, and then decide again. So I just spoke with a gentleman who was about to take off, and he told me I can try to land in the middle station. While going in the gondola, I'm gonna scout the area, see if I like it there, and if I like it, then I'm gonna take the paraglider from the car, go up here, and have a nice flight. I checked out the landing spot. I don't like it because there are 3 cables on all 3 sides and the mountain on the 4th side, so I don't feel comfortable with that. And the runway is pretty short, so there's still a bit of time. I'm gonna take my chances another day. Was basically about to give up, but this entire pool of fog which is residing in the valley started dropping in level. So let's see. I'm gonna wait a little bit more. It is a bit of a roller coaster because, yeah, on one hand it looked like I could fly today, then it, with the fog, definitely looked like I couldn't. Then from the top it looked good. There was alternative landing spot, but then I didn't like it that much, especially with the camera attached. I don't want to be risking and flying into the power lines. Now again, it starts looking like there might be a chance of flying. Let's see what happens in the next half an hour, and if the conditions improve and I can see fully the landing spot, then I'll go up and we'll try to fly down. I've waited basically until the last minute and the fog has just dropped enough. So I'm committing because this is the last cable car going up. So if I don't take off, then I have to walk down the mountains. Fingers crossed it doesn't fog up. Alright, got out of the gondola. The fog level is still where it was when I left the bottom station. If the fog comes back, I can always try to land in the middle station. But I really hope that the fog remains low. Not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous about this flight. Alright, there's a slight tailwind, but not that much. And this is the takeoff spot. So, let's get going. All right, welcome on the ground again. Oh, what an amazing flight to the sunset. That was beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Let's pack the paraglider and get home. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. Make sure to subscribe to not to miss any new ones. And until then, see you in the next one. Cheers!